What's going through your noggin? Is it Steve Zimmerman? All right. So we're going to go back to this right here.
Where are we going? Where are we going?
And let's take a look. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're feeling inspired. See,
I
that's
am
why
feeling-
that's why we have the whiteboard.
Yeah. So at work, we moved front of house, which was on the balcony, to the main floor, but the left side. My boss at the time thought it was a good idea to enlist the help of none other but the Boy Scouts. So we're working on this. It's taking the whole week pretty much. And one of the Boy Scouts' names was Steve. Or we thought that it was Steve. And he sucked. He was a piece of shit that didn't do anything.
Privileged.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Yep. And so what ended up happening was my coworker, Jason, who now is my boss, he started calling everything that he didn't like Steve.
Did Steve catch on?
Steve didn't catch on. Maybe because that wasn't his actual name, but we don't know. We just kept on trekking and trucking. And so there was also this hammer, but on the handle it said Zimmerman on it. And so whenever Jason needed a tool, or it started as only the hammer, he would say, "Hey, can you hand me Zimmerman?" And then someone would hand him Zimmerman. But then he started calling every tool Zimmerman. And so he'd be like, "Hey, can you hand me Zimmerman?" And you just have to assume what he's actually asking for.
Okay, so we're not looking at a Boy Scout aged person here.
No. What we found after calling all these things that we didn't like Steve and affiliating it with Zimmerman was that there is a Steve Zimmerman in Seattle.
In Seattle? Okay.
In Seattle. And one of them is, I forget which one, but these are all different Steve Zimmermans from Facebook. And in the bottom left, you'll see that there's a kitty cat.
A cougar named Steve Zimmerman.
Yeah, you know, it's on.
You know, you
on
can
Facebook.
house train a cougar. Well, I don't think you can house train a cougar, but. Okay, so what the fuck are we looking at, Molly? Why are we talking about this?
It's really one of my favorite things because this project, the whole transitioning from the balcony to this current area, it was the first time spending like a week with my now boss, then coworker, and finding out about his mannerisms, finding about like his humor level, and really discovering that we mesh extremely well. And then what also happened out of that was we started calling everything Steve, and we just incorporate some adjective.
When does it stop?
It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Like there was this desk that we created for our old sound system that we repurposed, and so we called it Old Steve. But then
how do you get anything done at this place?
Oh, wait.
How do you get anything done?
Well, it really makes it so that context is key.
You're just playing games at work all day.
We really are.
Yeah.
Like we have we don't call anything by what like industry calls it. We make up names for everything. It's
Industry.
Industry. We didn't follow through with this idea, but the idea that we had was to Facebook message this guy and ask him to come out, because this whole process was bringing front of house from the balcony to this area, right? And so we wanted a ribbon cutting ceremony.
And featuring him cutting the ribbon.
Featuring him cutting the ribbon, and we wanted to make a plaque and have him with big scissors cutting the ribbon. And
that sounds darling.
I know, right? We didn't do it, but you know, the idea's there. The idea's definitely there.
Steve, if you're watching.
Steve, if you're watching, we still want it to happen. I love you, Steve. So now we are at the point, I think we both have covered our shop talk.
Yeah, you know, there were some slides on Prospect that I still wanted to go through, but I feel like that's beating a dead horse. Find it, stream it, watch it, email us, tell us what you think. I would love to hear what you have to say
What's
about
that email?
the film. I think it's varietyshowandtell@gmail. Yeah,
right
that's it.
there.
Can you believe no one took that?
I cannot.
I can't either.
You know, variety show and tell.
It's like,
It's such a name that's like right to the point that it's a happy middle flavor town for me. Not only is this economy in recession, but my gums are in recession. Holla at your boy.
Are your gums in recession?
Do you need to talk about how your gums are in recession?
I've never met anybody with like aggressively receding gums.
Well, let me tell you.
It's
If you
like-
need to talk to someone about gum recession, I can be that point person because I will tell you this. I have had the surgery 3 times now. This will actually be my 4th time.
You're just growing straight out of them.
Yeah. They're just my teeth cannot be constrained, okay? The last one I had was for this side right here. But in the application of the gums. So they take the gums from the roof of your mouth. I guess they didn't apply it correctly or something. And I go in for a pre-surgical thing next or tomorrow, if weather permits. And then
What's
I
the
have this-
pre-surgical thing?
You just get the prescriptions or
Oh,
what have you.
do they give you like anti-anxiety meds? Because like having your gums like transplanted sounds horrific. Make sure to have someone pick you up. Is it like one of those procedures? Are they going to knock you out?
Yes. And the reason why I laugh is because my friend Baby and I, we have gone through the saga together. The past 2 surgeries, they have been the one that has taken me there. They've been my driver. And so the past 2 times, or the initial time that they took me, I had this idea, which was, okay, we're going down there to Tukwila. What can we do that could really sell going to Tukwila? We needed a little extra credit, if you will. I realized that I had this coupon for a place called Picture People, which is in the South Center Mall. And it was for, I think, a free sitting. I think you spent like $10 and you got a 10 by 12 or something.
That's a pretty good deal.
It's a pretty damn good deal.
I would do that.
And you also got like wallet sized and like, anyways.
That's how photography should be.
It's amazing. If you go after the surgery, you are in a different state of mind. It's, you're kind of on the medication that you're on. And I'm wrapped up and I'm in this like blue paper.
Show the picture.
Here we go. Look at that. Just look at it. Anyways, so last year we did the same thing, but Picture People was under new ownership. And so we couldn't actually get we couldn't get on the
They
schedule.
were like, no more coupons for you.
And they're pretty fun. Maybe I'll scrounge them up for next week, next
Yeah,
Wednesday.
I mean, are you gonna get some post-op photos after this one?
Oh, yeah.
Are you gonna be able to eat? Like, how does this
Oh,
work?
my God. Last surgery, I think it was in June or something. We went to the grocery store and I decided to buy a salad. It was a salad that had like top ramen crunchiness on it. It was a terrible choice.
None of this sounds good.
It was a terrible choice. We went to the pot shop and I got a drink that had 100 milligrams of THC in it, which is
That's a
fuck
lot.
ton. And
It's like a cancer dose.
yeah. I drank it mostly to myself.
And you ate this like top
I'm get-
ramen salad
Yeah,
while you're super high.
I'm getting the munchies. Posture. And I'm getting the munchies real hard, and I go through the salad, and I start to feel this warm liquid in my mouth, and then it starts accumulating.
No.
And then I go to the bathroom, and I spit it out, and then just kind of rinse it. But the great thing about your mouth is that it
heals
it
really
heals
fast.
so quick.
Yeah, it's like your butt.
Yeah,
Your butt heals super fast too. I don't know if you know that.
I do now. No, I do know now.
It's like the same. Your gums and your butt. It's like pretty much the same shit.
Yeah. I don't know that, but now I do. The thing that I rely most on are those meal replacement drinks, because you don't want to chew for a while.
Where do they get the gums from? Do they get it from your butt?
No,
Okay.
that'd be amazing.
Had to ask.
I should ask them tomorrow. So instead of what you've done the 3 past times, can you do it differently this time?
No, but where do they get it?
They get it from the roof of your mouth. They basically take a potato peeler kind of thing, and they just go, and it comes off kind of like when you're scooping ice cream, how it all just peels up like that, like a little snail shell rolling type thing. And then they put it in the place where you have recession. And then what they do after that is they weave in and out stitches like between your teeth. The post surgical visit, what ends up happening is those stitches end up like going into your gums and just like
Sticking there.
yeah,
Right?
and it's just like mind-gnawingly painful, but
Right, because so your gums grow around the stitches, so I'm gonna swell up.
right.
Yeah. Okay. So the front one's kept. It looks like they're. Is that been transplanted? Okay, and then the side ones are not doing so hot. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what would happen if
My teeth would fall out.
that's what would happen? They just really wouldn't be able to stick. Okay.
Yeah, it would not end well.
Let's assume you never got transplants because you couldn't afford dental care.
I don't.
Would you be dead?
I wouldn't be dead.
Okay.
Definitely. Maybe some of the bottom ones would be out. None of the top. I haven't had any surgeries on the maxilla.
Okay.
And there was one surgery that I had to do that would give me like the perfect midline. You know?
So not jaw surgery.
This was jaw surgery.
Okay, so that's what was recommended, and you did.
What they did was they took out the back wisdom teeth because I believe I had
Wow, a oneer. That's a lot of hardware to go through at once.
all at once. Yeah,
That's like, yeah.
it was my friend Joseph. He took this picture, which was I think the day after my surgery, and I was blown up. He found it probably like 4, maybe 5 years later, and sent it to me. And oh my gosh,
What a
it's
treat.
amazing.
Are we going to get to see that next time?
Yeah. When you're editing it down, can you nod along? I wanted and I don't know if these should be segments or categories. It's just random thoughts. And actually, now that I see this one, this falls into the memories of youth. It just says throwback videos. A nice one would be hidden talents. We could have a hidden talent show. I have a few hidden talents.
I bet you do. I have none.
Shut up. The Facebook ad recognition thing that you're talking about. Recurring dreams.
Or just, how about like dreams?
Or just dreams.
So long as it's a good story. Like, so long as it's a good story.
Yeah.
Practice.
Themed wardrobes each week.
This is my theme, baby. This is what I'm going to wear.
Every week.
Yeah.
Okay. The thing, what's new with you? Having that be the start off points. And coffee mugs. some of those things I've already said, but I just wanted to say all those things out loud.
I'm going to have a little ritual.
Fire boy. Crackle, crackle, crackle. What are those things called? Wood pellets? If you know what those things are called, give us an email at varietyshowandtell@gmail.com. Look at that. That's a Smoky Pete.
I love digital noise.
Yeah.
There's some form in there. I'm going to talk about that at some point. Not in this show, but maybe next show.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, one other thing that you're going to talk about is queued up right now.
What are you looking at me like that for? Okay, I guess we're talking about this now. So this is a movie I worked on last year. It's a long time ago now, frankly. It sort of feels like weird to bring it up again, but
it did extremely well. Like, so well.
it did okay. You know, we premiered at South by Southwest last March, and then there was a limited national release, and it was just recently leaked, which is why I'm bringing it up now, because if you're enterprising, you can find it for free.
Ooh.
Last I heard, Zeke, the director, it was co-directed by Chris and Zeke. Zeke said there had been 60,000 downloads. So what I did for this was take photos. And that's what I do irregularly, I would say.
BTS.
Yeah. BTS and like more, I would say that like what you're looking at right now is ideally a little more commercial. So I did that. It was a 40-day shoot. Okay, you're going through these real fast.
Sorry.
On the left is Aiden, followed by Kimberly, and then some wardrobe assistant. I forget her name, unfortunately. They made the concepts real, and I think they had the hardest job. So I always like to shout them out. Well, Hollywood, you don't make a movie for like under 60 million.
Right.
This was made for about 4.
Wow.
Which is still like a big house.
It still is.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I guess I just bring it up because I had such a damn good time on it.
Yeah.
And, and I didn't work on a movie this year, so like I still am enjoying talking about this one.
Look at that camaraderie right there.
Oh yeah, this is Jay. This was his last day. I don't want to.
Plus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's hugging Sophie, and this was in Forks, Washington, which we were out there for like 2 weeks. It's weird out there, dude. It is weird. Just from a cultural standpoint.
I think that's the first movie that's ever been filmed in Forks that's worth anything.
You know, oh God, here's a story about. So we were there for a couple weeks. We were sort of stranded in a hotel, and one of the saddest images, and I wish I had this in the slide, was there were these Native American gift shops or whatever. You know, people who are indigenous people who are making art, and just plastered over their sign it used to be native to Washington, and there was a sign that said native to Washington, and then over it was native to Twilight. And so they were just selling Twilight stuff, and it's like, get that money, get those dollars, but like, damn. Also, the bar culture. There was one bar in town. Maybe there were more, but there was one good one. It was maybe a 6-block town. Yeah. And there were a couple contentious moments there. We almost got into a fight twice.
Fisticuffs?
Just a little bit. Oh, wait. Before we go deep, this is also shout out to Alex Farias on the left. I think, you know, she's written a couple scripts. She's in camera department. I feel like she's going to be an incredible director at some point. I don't know when, but it's going to happen. And then Emma, I mentioned, lost the tip of her finger.
Right.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. tip.
R.I.P. I think that's honestly, like, we can come back to Prospect if you want, but I think that's a pretty good segue.
Yeah. Oh.
I know. It's happening.
Yeah.
You know, last time you mentioned that you lost your finger.
Yes.
Tell me, how does that happen?
I am
How do you just
so glad that
lose a
you
finger?
asked.
Well, there it goes.
I was just walking to school one day and I just realized that my finger wasn't with me. Where did I put it?
Also, I wet the bed.
Yeah. Whoopsie daisies. Okay. So, as the story goes,
No, I don't need. Do I need to be here for this? Because I need to take a piss.
well, I don't want to be telling it to no. Well, I
You're
guess
not talking to nobody. Come on, there's somebody watching out there.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll be
I
right
can
back.
do it
I'll
by
be right back.
myself. I've told the story to myself many a times. Oh. So, as the story goes, little boy Oliver, he was probably like 3.5 years old. And you know what? He was playing hide and seek with his brother and sister. What ended up happening with that was we found a hide-a-bed that was in our living room, that the bed was pulled out of the couch. And so we decided to hide within the couch. Hoo-ah! Speaking of couches. And so when we go and hide, we sneak back in the little cubby space and like we are fully, you can't see us. And then my sister comes out, ready or not, here I come. And she hears us giggling. And
It's
thinking,
such a good spot.
it's such a, I mean, it's a hide-a-bed. If it could hide a bed, it could hide 2 kids. That's what I've always said.
Maybe more.
It could
never
hold
tried
at
it.
least 2
Yeah.
kids. Could hold at least 1 kid. And so she hears us giggling, and she then proceeds to roll the bed up.
So this is like a 2-step fold.
I think it's like a 3-step.
Oh wow.
And
Big
2 or
hide
3.
of
I
bed.
don't.
Yeah.
I forget how hide-a-beds work.
Not the important part of the story.
It's the amount of steps that I was in age, 3.5. And so my brother gets out, and my sister proceeds to roll the bed up. And then when I try to get out with this wrong finger,
I try to get out.
when I try to get out, the spring catches my finger right here, and I have scars to prove it. We can do a little close up.
Is that fully extended? Wow. Is that fully extended? Oh, yeah. I can see the line. Yeah. So make it straight, though. Make it straight.
It's bent,
Oh, man. That blow. Yeah. It's like.
so I can't bend those knuckles. I
Oh,
can
see
bend
that
this
shake? See that shake? He's trying. He's trying.
So the spring catches my finger and just rips it off. And then I remember my arm like this.
Okay, when it rips it off.
It just it shreds right through the bone. It's hanging by a tendon. Just complete 180 of what it should be looking like.
It's hanging.
It's hanging there. And I look at it, and I look at my brother, and then I look at it again, and then I look at my brother, and then I look at it one more time.
It's still
Look
broken.
at my brother. The next thing that I know is I am on my living room floor. Paramedics are wrapping me up, and they're taking me to the hospital. I have a picture of, we have some x-rays, and on the left, you can see that there are little like metal splints.
Oh,
on the
those really
index finger.
bright spots?
Yeah.
Up on the top left?
Yeah. And then on the right is after it healed. And you can tell the index finger, it has this little, what do you call it? Hourglass shape to it.
It's
More so than what a normal one would
It's
have.
a terrific figure.
Yeah.
Terrific figure.
Yeah. Luckily, they reattached it, and
You didn't lose it.
I didn't lose it. I just lost the not mobility, but like the functionality of those 2 knuckles. I can feel. And the only bad things that happen from it really are my air quotes are a little bit wonky.
Air quotes.
But I mean, who uses air quotes anymore? The big one is pointing at people. It's like It's hard to tell, but it's just always bent, so I'm always pointing at the wrong. If I were to point at Erik right now, I'd have to point like this. Pew! It's like a hook shot.
Yeah.
But, even though my finger got cut off, I was still a happy little boy at 3.5 years old.
Wow, look at that
Yeah.
chonk of an arm.
I know.
Where's your hand even?
It's in there somewhere.
They just folded it in there.
Like a fist or something. I also have that cast right here.
Whoa.
My mom...
You still have it?
Yeah. My mom ended up sending me this in the
Why?
mail with a bunch of random other shit, really.
She watched a Marie Kondo documentary about... Did I even say that right? I don't even know.
And yeah, I now have this as a weird keepsake of the memory of when I got my finger cut off.
Let's get some close-ups of that.
Oh, let's get some close-ups.
What does that even say? Who signed that? Do you remember who signed it?
Oh, everyone did. I'll read some. This one says, "I'm so glad you're back."
It was the teacher because they spelled "your" correctly.
Yeah, that's a teacher for you. "I'm so happy you're fine." This actually is the wrong spelling.
Yep. That's a
Right
great
there.
smiley face, though. Look at that.
Yeah.
That is a big
So happy you're
smile.
fine. Love you, Miss Sue. Anywho,
Have you ever thought about turning that into a bong?
That would be so gross.
Never
But
even thought about
I've
it?
never even thought of it.
Perfect shape.
It really is. Now that I am thinking about it, I won't do that. But it's
Missed opportunity.
it's still an interesting thought.